Hi guys, welcome to another video from Coach Called Life. My name is Swami. I've been really enjoying putting out these videos every week, and I hope you are getting something out of it. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about obsessive thoughts and intrusive thoughts. This is something that I found very challenging during my own recovery process, and I have created a kind of like a framework to deal with them, and I wanted to share that with you, and hopefully you'll find that as helpful as I did. So basically, an obsessive or an intrusive thought is a thought or an image sometimes that keeps coming to you all the time, and it's usually something that you don't enjoy. For example, it could be an intrusive thought such as you're walking down the road and then you see someone come in front of you, and then you immediately have this thought as if, what if I do something to this person? What if I harm this person? Or let's say you're driving your car on a busy freeway, and suddenly you have this feeling of, or you have this thought which says like, what if I just like drive right through the traffic? What if I crash into someone's car? What if I harm someone? Sometimes it can be thoughts of, it could be very intrusive, obsessive thoughts about things like incest and sexual activity, or doing something dirty to yourself or to someone. It could be thoughts of like molesting someone, or it could be thoughts of, harming children, and it varies from person to person. So let me walk you through a few steps of how I deal with these thoughts. First of all, you have to understand that these thoughts are not based on reality. These thoughts and images are not based on any kind of truth. So once you understand that kind of gives you a little bit of space. Just because you're having these thoughts, just because you're having these images, doesn't mean you will follow through with them. You don't, like, you have to tell yourself, like, you don't have the desire to do so. Whatever this obsessive thought is, whatever this intrusive image is, you don't have the desire to do so. So you will not do this. These are just thoughts that are coming and going into your mind space. And so for this thought to translate into reality, to become reality, it requires your action to do so, and it requires your desire to do so. And because you don't have this desire, it will never manifest into reality. That's number one, and you have to understand that, and you have to somehow get it inside of you that, okay, I don't have the desire, I just have these recurring obsessive intrusive thoughts or images. That's number one. The second is that whenever you get these thoughts, whatever kind of intrusive thoughts, you should try to just step back and start observing these thoughts. And it's kind of like what meditation teaches us. Meditation doesn't teach you to control these thoughts. Meditation teaches you to become aware of your own mind space, become aware of the kinds of thoughts that are going through into your mind. So whenever this thought, for example, what if I harm someone? What if I stab my roommate? Whatever this recursive thought, whatever this recurring thought that you have, recurring intrusive thought you have, the moment you become aware of it, just step back and just see it as just as a thought. And then what do you do is try to identify the nature of these thoughts. So most often than not, these thoughts are in the form of a what if. For example, it'll be like, what if I harm someone? What if I crash my car into someone? It's usually in the form of a what if thoughts. And the protocol that you need to follow is that if it's a what if thought, you can feel free to dismiss it. It is like these what if thoughts are never based on truth. They're never based on reality. So the moment a thought is in the form of a what if, just feel free to dismiss them. Sometimes it's not very easy to dismiss these thoughts, labeling helps, labeling it as a what if thought, labeling it as an inappropriate negative thought, or labeling it as a intrusive thought really helps, and it's one of the steps that I put forward, and dismissing them helps. But more often than not, it's not easy to dismiss them. In these cases, what I do is that whenever a thought like comes and I become aware of like a what if thought or an intrusive thought, I just say yes, so be it, or fine, okay, whatever it may be, fine. For example, let's say I'm in the kitchen cooking and I'm boiling some water to make pasta, and then I have this intrusive thought which says like, what if I put my hand into the boiling pot? And like sometimes it sends like shudders through me, but then what I try to do is I'll try to like step back, and then I'll see it as a what if thought. I'll try to dismiss it, and if I can dismiss it, I'll be like I'll say to myself, fine, so be it. Like if somehow like I am moved to put my hand into this boiling water, then so be it. I don't care. Fine. Yes. And this is where acceptance comes in. This actually, what happens is that the more we try to push away a thought, the more we try to resist the thought, the more it tries to push us. Like it's as if every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So we're trying to push this thought, and we're trying to like push it away from our mental space, and the thought actually pushes down, and it tries to get in. And that's what happens all the time. Like every time you resist something, it will try to persist, it will try to come back. But then once you say yes, once you say fine, you're like, I don't care, so be it, the thought actually loses all of its power. And this might not happen immediately. This might take a while. This might take a lot of practice and commitment to say so. But then once you start doing it, you'll notice that you will have less and less of these recurring intrusive thoughts, because they don't have any power over you. They cannot bully you. Like once you say yes, once you surrender and say like, I don't care, just okay, if that's what's going to happen, let it happen. Let the pieces fall where they may. I don't care anymore. So once you do that, like you will see a drastic reduction in your intrusive thoughts. Just try it out and see what happens. And I know it can be a little scary just saying yes to these thoughts, because sometimes we feel like, oh, what if I say yes, and what if that thing were to happen? But then you have to notice that even that is a what if thought. Just thinking, what if I say yes and this were to happen, is also a what if thought. And then you just say yes to that thought. Just try it out and see like whether this is helping you or this is causing you more pain. And my guess is that this is going to tremendously help you. This is going to tremendously help you deal with all of these intrusive imagery or intrusive thoughts. So actually coming back, to give you a little bit of like why these thoughts are coming to you in the first place, a lot of people who experience such thoughts are very anxious, or feel stressed out in their lives. And stress stress changes our body chemistry, and it produces, it elevates certain hormones in our bloodstream. And because of this elevation of these hormones, our mind starts to act differently. It gets energized by these hormones, and it tries to come up with these thoughts automatically, even though we have no desire, even though it's not us thinking these thoughts. It's just that the mind is going on and on and on its own. So that just knowing that these thoughts are automatic actually creates a space between you and your thought, and that is actually that could really help lower your fear towards them. And it's actually your fear that fuels these thoughts. The more we're afraid of them, the more we're afraid of getting them, the more they're going to come. But then once you see these thoughts as just like automatic and that you don't have any control over them, it actually it will let you feel less scared of them. It's not that you don't have any control over these thoughts. You don't have control over when and where and what kind of thought is going to arise, but what you have control over is you can control how you react to them. You know, when a thought arises, you can control how you react to them. You can either believe in those thoughts and become afraid and try to shut them off, thereby failing and repeatedly having this thought come to you, or you could tell yourself, like, this is just an intrusive thought, this is just an automatic thought, I don't have to believe it, it is a what if thought, and I don't care, worst comes to worst, so be it. You know, you could change your reaction to this thought, and that's what I would want you to try and see for yourself. Like, you know, you have control over how you react to a certain situation, you have control over how you react to a certain imagery or a certain thought. Just change that reaction. You know, say yes, so be it, fine, you know, whatever, I don't care, and then see what happens. So to summarize what I've just said, intrusive thoughts and intrusive imagery and obsessive thoughts, they are not based on reality. They are automatic, and you don't have to believe them, you know. And what they are not based out of your desire to do so. And because there is a lack of desire to do so, you will not follow through with these actions. So these are just automatic thoughts. And the way to get over them is by observing them, by labeling them as what if thoughts or intrusive thoughts, and either dismissing them or saying yes to them, agreeing with them, and seeing what happens. So I'm curious to see if this framework that has helped me can help you as well. If you could let me know how that went for you, that would be great. You know, I'm curious to know. I'm curious to see if this can help other people. And I think we've come to the end of the video, and if you think you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and families and your social network. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I intend on putting out more videos. I talk about depersonalization, anxiety, how to overcome them, how to live a free life, how to live a life free of like these intrusive thoughts, and how to live a panic-free life. And it's something that I intend to continue doing almost every week. So subscribe, and you'll get notified when I put out a new video. So until my next video, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.